Hi, this is Parker. Okay, so again, I didn't make my video on time because I'm kind of flaky like that. It's been 3 months and like a week now on T. There's not a hell of a lot to say as far as changes go. I have um, I have noticed a more deepening in my voice. Um, hair on my stomach and hair on my arms and hair in places that there was never hair before. Um, I need a haircut. Speaking of hair, what else? My mustache comes in really thick, but only my mustache comes in really thick. Everything else is still really prickly and pretty short. I actually noticed over the last couple weeks that my chin hairs have been getting longer, but they're really like thin, like they're really like kind of peach fuzz still. So I shaved a couple days ago, and I've noticed that little kind of patches like here and here are coming back, and it's pretty coarse and it's pretty rough. So I think that my chin is starting to sprout. And my mustache, of course. Sorry, my mustache, of course, is coming in like crazy because it's. I don't know why, but it just seems to be the first thing that comes in. My cheeks are also sprouting hair, and it's a lot coarser than it was before. So that's good. I'm getting a lot of phlegm in my throat from. I guess from my vocal cords changing. I don't know, it's really irritating. I feel like I'm sick all the time. I am sick all the time, but that's a different story. Every now and then when I get like a big drop, like when I feel like a deeper sensation when I'm speaking, and I feel like my vocal cords are kind of covered in phlegm. I know it's kind of gross, but I have to cough a lot of stuff up. Yeah, it seems that the deepening in my voice really comes and goes. Like it's really, I can't explain the feeling. It kind of feels like my throat is constricted and there's a lot more vibration in my voice, if that makes any sense. Like it doesn't necessarily feel like it's getting really deep. It just feels like it's more constricted. I think that's normal. I think that's like your vocal cords thickening and whatever. It's been 3 months, so I guess I'm at a normal pace for somebody on the dose that I am on. What else have I noticed? I've started lifting. I've started light exercising and lifting. Just a 5 pound weight. I'm a pretty small guy. I'm about 5'5". I weigh like 105 pounds. I have put on a lot of weight though since starting testosterone. My appetite is awesome, and my muscles are starting to really build quite a lot, especially in my arms and my legs. I've noticed that my injections are a lot more painful now, and I can really feel them a lot more. It's probably because the muscle in my I get them done in my like butt. The muscle in my ass is. Wait, I'm not supposed to say ass on YouTube. I said ass on YouTube, get over it. The muscle in my ass is a lot thicker now, so I can feel it kind of going in, and it's really uncomfortable, but I'm not complaining. It's a lot better than, having no butt at all, so I'm happy that my muscles are growing. There was something that I wanted to discuss. Just kind of voice my opinion on this matter because it seems like nobody is. So I want to talk about the way people perceive us and the way we react to the way people perceive us, and pronouns and the way people use them and how we react to the way people use them. I've noticed a lot. Actually, here's a good example. I called Clinic, which is the only place in the city that will like prescribe you testosterone and will kind of get your transition going and set everything up for you, and they're really great. But I called them, and actually no, they called me. to change an appointment, and they used my previous name because I haven't yet changed my name. So that was okay. I mean, I didn't freak out or anything. I was like, oh, I just kind of went with it because I'm still kind of used to that. And the lady was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I read here that you don't use that name anymore, and you're being called something else now, and I'm really sorry. And I was like, well, it's okay. Like, that's on your screen. It says my previous name, and that's what you're going by. Like, how are you expected to know automatically what I prefer, like, as my name? And they just, like, changed computer systems, so, and she was like, oh, thank you for not freaking out at me. I get a lot of people, I call them, and I make a mistake and they completely fly off the handle. Well, that's not okay to do. Like, I understand that we have to educate and we have to almost demand respect from people because we don't necessarily get a lot of respect from certain people. I understand that we need to be advocates for our, for our people, but if you're going to react to somebody in a negative way when they make a mistake, when they call you the wrong name or use the wrong pronoun, if you're going to completely, just lash out at them, it's not going to look good for you, and it's not going to look good for the entire population, because it kind of seems like the majority of us do that. I mean, I understand that it's extremely frustrating when somebody calls you she, and you're like, oh man, like I just hate that, And I've had that. I've had people call me she recently, and it didn't make me angry. It just made me sad. What do I have to do to pass around here? But the last thing that you should be doing is just making them feel stupid, because nobody deserves to feel that way. Nobody deserves to feel stupid. They made a mistake. They made a mistake. If they're deliberately, calling you the wrong pronoun and the wrong name just to get under your skin, then by all means, go right ahead. Go right ahead and smack them in the face if you want to. But, well, don't do that. But, go ahead and yell at them. Go ahead and tell them that they're assholes. But, if it's just an honest mistake by a friend or a family member, somebody who doesn't exactly understand, because, to be honest, nobody understands unless they've lived in the skin and they've experienced what we're experiencing. They don't understand. And it's not that they are bad people, and it's not that they don't want to understand. It's that they just can't, because it's not their lives. So if a person is making a mistake on your pronoun or your name, just politely correct them. Don't yell at them. Don't make them feel stupid. You want people to respect you, and you want people to use your preferred name and your preferred pronoun, but if you are demanding respect, you should also be giving respect. I think that it's extremely important to remember that, because a lot of us just don't. We just get so riled up that it doesn't matter who the hell, screws up. It's important to remember that we have to respect people in order to receive respect. Respect should be automatic, but in a lot of cases, and in the world mostly, it isn't. You have to earn it. So please remember that if somebody screws up your name or your pronoun, it's not because they're trying to hurt you. It's because they're uneducated. So the best thing you can do is educate them gently, because it does take time to wrap your head around the whole idea of a person of one gender changing. I have always been a guy in my mind, but to everybody else, I was a girl, and I identified as a girl, and I identified as a lesbian for many years, because I wasn't aware of my options. But now that I am, and now that a lot of people are, they're transitioning, and it's awesome, but it's new. It really is. It's been happening for years, but think about it. How many resources did we have 10 years ago? I can't think of anything. I had no idea that that was even an option for me. I didn't know what there was in the world. It's just still new, and a lot of people are having a hard time with it, and we have to respect that. But we also have to make sure we stand up for ourselves and that we educate. Education is absolute key in this whole process. I get a lot of questions. I mean, I was in the hospital a couple months ago, and the police officers that brought me, well, there were police officers there, but that's, I didn't do anything wrong. It was like, I wanted to check myself into the psych ward. I wanted to get some psychological help. So that's why I was in the hospital, and that's why there were police officers there. But they had to watch me, essentially. But I'm okay. Don't worry about that. They were extremely inappropriate. Most people would think that they were extremely inappropriate because they were asking a lot of very personal questions about my transition. Like, very personal. Like, they went very personal. But I wasn't, I was completely okay with explaining to them every last detail of it because people need to know, because they just don't. They just don't. It's not like it's on the TV every minute. They don't read about it in the papers all the time. It's not something that people are constantly talking about, So even if somebody is being inappropriate, the best thing you can do is explain to them the best that you can what you know about what you're going through, and maybe it'll help them understand. I had my psychological assessment done for top surgery, and I'm still awaiting the results. Obviously, there were some concerns as far as my depression goes. I mean, I've had depression for years, so it's not new. And, they kept saying, well, that kind of comes with the territory. A lot of trans people have a history of depression, and it's true. And most of the reason, well, a big reason is because they've been living in the wrong body for so many years, and it's kind of hard on a person. But anyways, my point of this video was I am now 3 months and a week on testosterone. And I just wanted to voice my opinion about educating others instead of making them feel like shit, because nobody deserves to feel that way. So just think about it. Next time somebody goofs, think about how you're going to react to that situation instead of just making them feel like assholes, because they don't deserve it. Unless they do deserve it. So, talk to you later.